Hello, my name is Malachi Ash, and I'll be presenting my Individualism versus Collectivism essay. Society has countless types of personalities and mindsets. However, when one takes the time to break it all down, there are only two mindsets that stand: individualistic and collectivistic. Being an individualist means that one thinks for themselves and does things their way. Collectivists, on the other hand, see themselves as a piece of a cohesive unit that prioritizes the group over themselves. Many benefits come with each group. However, if one sees themselves as an individualist, they are missing out on a plethora of benefits while being solitary. While individualism has its own merits, the key qualities of collectivism trump anything individualism has to offer. The individualism versus collectivism argument holds the power to change the way we think and live, but also express the benefits of working together. Humans are social beings, and in order for us as a species to evolve and innovate, we must understand all aspects of each other. Understanding each other is made easier if we act as a collective group and not a group of individuals. Individualism and collectivism are both commonly practiced in working environments and the real world. Although one dominates the other in successful results and efficiency, both are universally valued because of their importance to society. Businesses use both qualities to challenge and motivate their workers to reach company goals. Businesses that promote individualism among their employees enjoy seeing personal success opposed to collective success and are firmly linked to the supremacy of individual rights. Promoting an individualistic culture in one's business requires the practice of accountability, independence, and initiative. On the other hand, a company that promotes collectivist culture takes upon themselves the essential task of creating an environment where the power of teamwork correlates to successful results. It is essential that communication and collaboration, as well as an organized structure, promotes balance and partnership instead of competition and rivalry. Both working environments include their benefits. However, it all comes down to how the company organizes itself. In other words, the way the company organizes itself determines which culture will dominate the working environment. Each culture is not only represented in the business world, but it also applies to everyday life. Our own capitalistic society is based around the thought that people would rather salvage their own self interest than their fellow citizens. Businesses only take advantage of our own self interest to grow their company by promoting the pursuit of personal success as a powerful motivation tool. Still, some settings that one will find themselves working in will be impossible to perform as an individual. Collectivism works in most environments and cultures because it allows people to complete feats that are too complex for an individual to complete alone. Imagine one person trying to build a stadium for a professional football team, creating the cure for COVID-19, or running a branch of government without a collective collaboration. A collective approach drastically increases chances of finding flaws and incorporating different perspectives that an individual just cannot do. Individualists prefer to work independently and often have fixed mindsets. Therefore, they are less likely to adapt and change to meet the needs of a team. Would individualists change their characteristics to better the team? No. For the majority of the individualist group would rather see the whole team change their characteristics to match the individuals. This could cause tension and pressure in whatever environment they are working in, and no one likes to work in a place where there is tension present. There are many examples of this in sports, especially. For example, in the beginning of the 2020-2021 NBA season, basketball superstar James Harden demanded a trade out of the Houston Rockets. The reason why was because for more than half a decade, James Harden had been dominating the lead and taking the Houston Rockets through several playoff runs. However, after accomplishing so much for many years, he never achieved his one true goal, an NBA Finals title. So in the beginning of the 2020-2021 season, the Rockets tried their best to pair James Harden with some of the best players in the league, including John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins. When the season started, James Harden was seen skipping practice at a strip club, and when he finally decided to come back and try to work things out with the team, he said in an interview from ESPN, "We're just not good enough." This caused major tension within the team and organization, which caused DeMarcus Cousins, a former teammate of James Harden, to say it was disrespectful. About a week later, James Harden was traded to the Nets, and the Rockets just recently went on a 20-game losing streak. All of this could have been avoided if James Harden were to put his ego aside and allow his skills to intertwine within the teams and just play basketball. All the pressure and tension that was put on an organization and its players just because one player acted as an individual and did not consider the team led to an unsuccessful season for everyone involved with the Houston Rockets. The situation could have been handled a lot better. One might ask, what motivates a person to become a collectivist? Collectivists are motivated by group goals over individual goals. Collectivism focuses on the team and what is best for the collective group and the interrelationships within the group. A collectivistic person would easily sacrifice any individual praise to honor the group's achievements. Being singled out and granted benefit and praise as an individual from the rest of the group may even be embarrassing to a collectivist. To put aside individual honors to achieve group goals takes a humble heart and integrity. About to go back to the NBA topic. For instance, in 2015, former NBA superstar and five-time champion Tim Duncan took an $8 million pay cut to keep the San Antonio Spurs from out of the luxury tax while signing LaMarcus Aldridge. Sorry. The luxury tax is a progressive tax that delivers a tax penalty as the teams continue to spend over their budget. The Spurs did not want to pay the luxury tax, and Tim Duncan, being the second highest paid player on the team, sacrificed his own individual benefit for the success of the team. This was not the first time he did this, however. In 2012, he cut his own salary from $21 million to $10 million to allow the Spurs to keep their depth. In total, throughout Tim Duncan's career, he sacrificed $18 million, all for the success of his team. It was through these humble and selfless actions that Tim Duncan led the Spurs to become one of the most dominant teams the NBA has ever seen for nearly a decade and a half. Now ask yourself, would you sacrifice $18 million for the sake of your team? Not many would answer yes, but not everyone is as motivated by group goals as Tim Duncan. Collectivism is especially beneficial in the workplace. Some of the most successful businesses in the world work as a unit. There are many reasons for this, like the fact that collectivism fosters creativity and learning. Creativity blossoms when people work as a unit on a team. Brainstorming ideas as a group averts stale viewpoints that often occur when working solo. Collectivism also blends complementary strengths, meaning employees can build on the strengths and talents of their coworkers. Often, a group works well together because group members can depend on each other to bring individual skills for the collective group to equip. Relying on other people also builds trust within the group, which establishes strong and healthy relationships between co-workers. Although there will always be disagreements within a group, an effective team will resolve these conflicts themselves instead of turning to management. This allows teams to develop conflict resolutions, which are essential to the success of a collective group. Another benefit of practicing collectivism in a group is that it promotes a sense of ownership. Working together on a team project makes employees feel proud and fulfilled of their contributions. This will build loyalty and lead to higher job satisfaction, making employees feel more connected to the company they work for. Lastly, practicing collectivism in a workplace will encourage healthy risk-taking. Employees that work alone on a project will not want to risk their neck for a crazy idea that may or may not work. If the project is a failure while working solo, the employee will receive 100% of the blame and criticism. Even though one may not receive full credit for a successful project, practicing collectivism will make everyone come together, take responsibility for a failed project as one. I'm going to read that over again. If the project is a failure while working solo, the employee will receive 100% of the blame and criticism. Even though one may not receive full credit for a successful project, practicing collectivism will make everyone come together and take responsibility for a failed project as one. All right. I continue to explain why people should practice collectivism, but I have not gone over what makes a group or team successful. Well, first, we need to figure out how groups are made in today's society. Modern teams are built differently than the teams of the past. Today's teams are more diverse, dispersed, digital, and dynamic than ever before. Even though teams face new obstacles, the core basics to a successful team still apply to today. The foundation of every successful team is energy and engagement. Teams will not be motivated if they do not have an explicit goal they are working towards. The goal should not be difficult, but challenge the team enough to inspire them to put in their best effort. The team also needs a strong structure to build upon. Having the right mix of personalities and the right quantity of members can promote positive results and dynamics. Successful teams are equipped with members with a balance of skills. Every individual does not have to be great at both technical and social skills, but the team as a whole needs to be equipped with both. Having shared mindsets and allowing engagement and energy to flow throughout the team is a recipe for success. Culture has a huge impact on how people act and behave. A person raised in a collectivistic culture may be more likely to turn to family and friends for help in troubling situations. Those living in individualistic cultures would rather handle the problems on their own. Here are some traits that come with being raised in an individualistic culture. Being dependent upon others is considered shameful, which causes people to be self-reliant. Independence is highly valued, causing individual rights to be of the utmost importance. A greater emphasis is placed on being unique and outstanding. Another cultural impact is the way each culture sees themselves. When you ask an individualist to describe themselves, they may respond with, I am smart, handsome, funny, and polite. If you ask a collectivist the same question, they will respond with, I am a good husband, father, and son. Do you see the difference? The culture defines the characteristics one will take with them as they grow. Speaking of egos, the main cause of someone's ego being hurt is when a team leader acts as if they are better than the lower ranking individuals in a group. To be an effective team leader is to understand and appreciate the effort of each team member equally. According to the article by Red John F., debating the there is no I in team cliche, team leaders understand the importance of these 5 priorities: defining their role as the one accountable for team success and safety, guiding the team culture where values are understood and supported, identifying or allowing the individuals with the right skills for the situation to contribute or lead, policing the ego issues that degrade performance by drawing upon the team's values, and working with individuals and groups to ensure that individual genius is not lost. Humans are social beings, and one will not conquer the challenges in life without being collective. Out of all the cultures and mindsets society has, only 2 really matter: individualism and collectivism. Today's society needs to understand that being divided and encouraged to go at task alone is not the way to go. The fact of the matter is that collective groups do more in the world than individuals. Rather it be starting a business, creating a software, working on a project, or playing sports. Good or bad, everything involves teamwork, and there is no way to avoid it. Think of the James Hardens of the world and think of the Tim Duncans of the world. Be Tim Duncan, strive to help your comrades in any way possible, and strive to work as a collective group. We all need to be motivated by group goals like collectivists are. We need to create collectivistic cultures for children to grow up in, showing them that it is not shameful to ask for help. If you see yourself as an individualist, it is not too late to change and share your uniqueness with others. Do not let your uniqueness be suppressed. Do not shy away from people. Do not think that you need to complete everything as an individual. Sacrifice your individual benefits for the benefits of the team, and you will see the rewards.